HarperCollins presents Gatsby by Jane Crowther. Read by Rebecca LaChance.
For Hal. Fame is a bee. It has a song. It has a sting. Too, it has a wing. Emily Dickinson. Chapter 1. After a long time weighing up whether to tell the world what actually happened, for reasons of honesty, loyalty, and a sense of justice, it was the funeral that finally convinced me to sit down and write. But not the funeral you think. Not the one you imagine you know the sad details of, covered by the tabloids and inaccurately dramatized on Netflix. Having been asked for my side of the story repeatedly, and advised by healthcare professionals that some sort of journaling might be a good way to make sense of that summer, I eventually found myself questioning what I was so afraid of that prevented me from doing the very thing that had first lured me to the East Coast in the warm months of 2019. In those more innocent days for all of us, before we learnt what regret, grief, and reckoning really looked like on a global scale, I had harbored ambitions to dazzle with prose. As a girl, I hoped to manifest a book. As a teen, a following. As a newly graduated scholar, an audience. Now, I hope for kinship. There were so many accounts of the ephemeral events in that hot, violent window of time before darker stories knocked this one from the top of the news cycles and the think piece industry. But they don't even scratch at the skin of the truth. I may have only figured in the limited TV show as a composite character, but mine is a voice that truly bears witness. I was there. I am the smoking gun. As with all things, it's all about perspective. Take the Polaroid photo above my desk where I write. At first glance, it doesn't seem to be anything special. Without context, some might look at the slate-gray channel of water cutting between the watercolor smudge of the shore in the distance, the suggestion of the jade-tended lawn, the white of clapboard, and see tranquility. Others may sense a foreboding in the darker depths closer to the lens where the water looks almost black. Perhaps the value of the real estate on display might be assessed, or maybe the vista simply evokes the taste of salt on the breeze and the delicious chill of the water on such a beautiful day. Those who knew the eyes that looked through the viewfinder, always scanning the horizon, the spot just out of focus, might see an act of prayer. This picture, taken repeatedly by its photographer, is infamous now. Though her feeds were wiped, nothing nowadays is ever truly deleted or really disappears. Images and comments are harvested the minute they appear, stored and saved to be served up later. This one was. The framing of this view given new meaning over the years. A shot that was repeated so many times on her platforms and copied by others. That she never posted a caption seemed like an invitation to add individual interpretation. Fill the empty heart with red. Like, validate, imprint a narrative. When I look up at it from my keyboard, I do the same thing. I start to believe I can decipher the message it's sending out. The manifestation chant of its originator intertwined with the memories of my own misgivings. I cherish and hate it in equal measure because I recall the happiness, the giddiness, the bewilderment, and the betrayal I felt being in that very spot, looking at the sound so many times that lurid, lush summer. And I wonder if I sensed the tumbling towards an inevitable end even then, felt it like the slip of the angle of repose on a pile of sand, the point at which the heaped grains begin to tremble and slide, no longer able to hold their critical shape. Even if I did, I likely didn't care. Because Gatsby refracted light when she entered a room. It was often hard to see anything else. Buoyed on hope
Sample complete. Ready to continue?